All right, hello, welcome to Adventures in Lollygagging and Friends, and we are starting a brand new game tonight. Very excited. We are playing Metro Otherscape. If you are a fan of City of Mist by Son of Oak Game Studio, you know that Metro Otherscape is kind of like a spin-off, sort of speak, in a way, and it uses kind of a modified PBTA kind of system, and it's freaking cyberpunk with a mythic kind of spin. So it's like mythological cyberpunk narrative, like fast moving, crazy, zany stuff. And it just recently came out. I don't even think the physical books have delivered, but the PDF just came out about a month ago. Aaron, our good buddy Aaron, showed me it, and I looked at it, and then I stole it. But he had a chance, but he went Dragon Bait instead. So boom, done. Okay,
Firsties.
There we go. So now we get it. So yeah, we're going to be so tonight is the session 0. So I want to just sort of set expectations. It's session 0. We're not going to actually do any jobs or anything tonight, but we're going to make the mega city where we're going to play. We're going to make our crew, and we're going to make the characters. And so that's kind of what we're after here tonight. So there's a lot of world building components that we get to do, which is a lot of fun. The mega city creation, I'm super big fan of, just reading through it. And that's that. So I got a couple things we're going to go over just so we kind of get the right idea in our heads for what this game is. Then we'll kind of talk about some of the themes, some of the things that pop up. So basically, the game is going to take place in a futuristic megacity. We don't have to define the name of that megacity. It doesn't have to be a real city. It could be a fake city. It could be an existing city. But it's usually like the idea of multiple cities kind of converging together to create something big. It also takes place in the year 20XX. So it could be whatever year we want. And honestly, it doesn't even have to be relevant. It's whatever we want it to be. But the basic idea, pretty standard cyberpunk stuff, advanced tech, corporate control. But then there's this like ancient myths thing. So a couple big themes or concepts in the game. So all of the inhabitants of the city were basically being overwhelmed by this constant signal. It's called noise. Noise is with a capital N. And it's usually like ads, just your all the weird things you get on cyberspace and all that kind of stuff. And it's effectively like numbed the population to a point. And that's allowed the resurgence of these creatures or these entities called mythoi. And these are essentially supernatural forces that are now starting to take root in some way in the world and have influence on what's happening in the world in some ways. So it's basically cyberpunk, powerful corps, gangs, and then we got the mythic entities shit going on as well. And it's all kind of vying for control of this city in some way. So there's gonna be things like augmented reality, rogue AIs, and what they call mystical sources, which is sort of a way to tether or tap into a lot of those mythoi. And so that's kind of the deal. It's a dystopian universe, which is important because we're going to sort of get to define exactly how it's dystopian. So a couple big terms. I already mentioned mythoi, I already mentioned noise, went through all that. I have like little checklists of things I want to cover. There are certain thematic pillars that are true of basically any game of Otherscape. Mythology is weaponized. So the idea that there's all these ancient legends and myths and they're coming back and they're sort of like akin to tech or arms or drugs in some way, right? It's just like another tool, another way of weaponizing it. There's technological overdrive and moral bankruptcy. So the technological progress is basically benefiting the wealthy and the elite, while those who are not wealthy and elite are kind of struggling to do what they can to just make it by, often becoming violent or using unconventional methods. There's oligarchic corruption. So things like corporations and criminal syndicates are basically the same. They're kind of merged together and they're kind of controlling things as well. Cities in ruins. So there's a lot of once great cities that have become desolate ruins. They've been abandoned after, well, it's kind of up to us to figure out things like wars or environmental devastation. And they're usually lying kind of on the outskirts of this megacity that we're going to be exploring. And that's where all these like hidden relics and secretive groups and dangerous creatures and stuff that we're going to be allowed to engage with. There's a sprawling cyberspace. So that's there. There is hacking this game, but one of the cool things with hacking this game is that like the hacker can bring the whole team with them. So it's not just like a little mini game for the hacker, which is fun. So essentially, there's a sprawling cyberspace. There's gangs, there's cults, there's counterculture, there's transhumanism. So the idea that humanity is sort of transcended beyond just pure biological evolution, and now we're doing tech and things, common cyberpunk tropes, right? And then a little bit of tech noir as well, right? The idea of like mysteries and rain-soaked streets and that kind of stuff. So what we're going to start with is we're going to do Mega City. I do want to put one small spin on this before we start going on this. So I mentioned this to a few of you, like in terms of how I'm kind of looking at this. There's a board game I love called The Others. And it used to be called The Others 7 Deadly Sins, but it's just called The Others. Came out like 10 years ago. It's one of the first like Kickstarter board games I backed where I spent more money than I should have. And we barely get to play it, but I love it because it was like a futuristic sci-fi cyberpunk horror game where like you were like hacking and fighting and stuff, and you were also, you know, fighting like in avatars of like the 7 Deadly Sins. So I think one of the things we're going to be seeing a lot of in our game is like various components of like sin, or like Buddhism's 3 poisons, or like the idea of like mental enemies from Hinduism, like kind of starting to pull those sorts of concepts in as well. So that's probably going to be a lot of things. So things from like desire, hatred, ignorance, attachment, delusion, all that kind of stuff is probably going to be popping up a lot within our game. Both in terms of like actual external threats, but also like the internal degradation of self. Okay. So before we get too much into like talking about characters and what they look like, let's go ahead and let's start actually making our mega city. So there are basically some questions that we're going to have answered by the end. But we'll cycle back to those, but it has to do like how are we influenced by the mythoi? How are we dystopian? What kind of sources are we using? How has tech evolved the city? What role does cyberspace play? These are all kind of like big questions. Hopefully we're going to just by default answer as we do this process. And we're going to go from there. So I've already kind of made a loose map for you all to just sort of follow things along. What we need to start with is we need to start naming some districts. So our little generic map there, and it's not perfect. Those of you playing, you can see it. We got to start coming up with names. So, and these are loose names for districts. These districts are not beholden to the person who puts the name by it. All of you have access to the writing tools, but there are 12 districts. We need names for districts. So start typing stuff in, players. Start using the writing tools. And right next to, on the left-hand side of our little map, I have all these little spaces with numbers. Just type in a name. Again, it's not the end-all, be-all. We might change it later. And those folks are in the chat. If you're watching right now, throw out some ideas as well. We might steal those. And we're just going to start naming some things. While they're doing that,
probably rely on chat a bit for for names for some.
That's fine.
Can't I like get the writing tool?
So you got to hit the drawing tool first, which is the pencil. Okay. And then you want to hit, after you hit the pencil, it opens up a second menu, and you want to hit the letter.
Thank you.
Okay. So 34 to 36. I'm pretty sure that's Chuck, as it's called Little Russia.
Yeah, that's right.
Good job.
Okay. It's a district in the town I live in. So,
all right. I'm going to go ahead for 51 to 53. I'm going to call it Big Russia.
Oh.
All right. So I'm going to add that. That's one of mine. So, and again, these aren't like permanent. We might change them. This might just be a nickname. Like we can call it whatever we want. It really could be anything you want it to be. 24 to 26 is Burger Hill. All right.
Thanks, chat.
What we got so far. Who said Burger Hill? Oh, Forsyth. Okay. All right. So that's good. Let's see. I see a lot of empty spaces.
I've got the pencil, I've got the A, but it won't let me type.
Okay, so
you
then
gotta draw. You have to draw a box that's like drawing a text box, and
double
then
click.
you like
double click on the box. Double click on the box and go to text.
Okay,
and you can type in. There you go. The 31 to 33, which is to the southwest, is the Badlands. And if you're in our Discord, we'll drop the map at some point when I kind of clean it up a bit. 21 to 23 is the Smokestacks. Someone's been watching our Huckleberry. All right, or playing in our Huckleberry. 54 to 56 is Slaughterville. That's just a place where a bunch of butchers go and hang out. 61 to 63 is Old Spire. I like it. Very good. What else we got? Let's see. Oh my goodness. Are you catching the stuff from the chat, Melissa?
Yes, I'm working in a space, so I'm going to claim 60 44 to 66.
Go for it.
So we've got Burger Hill on to the north and Foothill to the south.
Okay. All right. So
I
again,
was gonna grab Foothill, but I'm glad you got it.
okay. So 12 total districts. Some are going to be bigger. Some are going to be smaller. Where we actually are going to spend our time, we don't know yet. What happened in these districts? We're going to very soon figure some stuff out. We're going to come up with some like future history. Looks like there's 3 more that need naming. So let's see what else we got.
I'll claim 1 is the
Side town.
district.
Okay.
I like the district. I'll claim 14 to 16 is the district.
All right. Got it. I'm going to go, if no one's on 44 to 46, I'll grab it. I'm going to call that Dissolution District.
Oh, I threw the district as 14.
Oh, okay.
Just the district.
Got it.
Ooh.
I like this Silk Quarter.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ashley. I'm going to take that. All right. Okay. So let's see. We've got so far we've got more names, I think, than we have districts. But let's go through. So we've got Red Green. We got the district. We got the Smokestacks, smoke in parentheses, Burger Hill, Badlands, Little Russia, Sweet Release, Silk Quarter, Big Russia, Slaughterville, Old Spire, and Foothill. These are all the various districts we have. And then we have floating off in the side, the high rise that we might find a place for at some point. So that's where we're at so far. Okay. So step 1 done. We have names for the districts, and we might come up with new names or alternative names or nicknames or even official names. So the next thing we do is we actually start rolling to develop various events that transpired in various details that kind of correspond to some of those theme pillars I was talking about before. So there are 12 districts. There's 6 of us. So we're going to do 2 rounds of this where one person is going to roll, and then we're going to kind of go around. Everyone's going to roll, and we're going to figure out what happens, and then we'll do another round of it, and we'll go from there. So Jeremy, we're going to start with you. It's fine. Give me 2 D6s. There's a bunch of rolls here.
A 6 and a 5.
Okay, so basically, so again, this is, when I say 2 D6s, this is going to be, you're rolling a D66. So you're basically...
Okay, so Foothill, basically.
Okay, so we're going to generate some future history for the Foothill.
Oh, okay, cool.
Okay, now give me another 2 D6. Same thing, so D66.
14.
Okay, so then what that gives me is the thematic code. This is like the pillar that what I was talking about before. So things like cities in ruins, sprawling space, tech noir, transhumanism, etc. So 14, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Cities and ruins. Okay, so that's where we're at so far. And now we go to the sub theme. So give me another 2 D6s.
Okay. How about a 55?
Okay, so 55 means rampant pollution. Okay.
Ooh.
So this is the subclass that we're doing. So something happened within this place. What's the name of it again? What's the name of this district?
Foothill.
Okay, so the foothills have some rampant pollution, and we have a development that happens. So there's a D6 table. So 1D6.
Okay. 1.
Okay. The air here is unbreathable with only a few surviving species.
Ooh.
Okay, so so this is where like we can stop
That's
there.
why it's called Foothill, because it smells like feet.
That's exactly what I was just going to say, is that this is where we get to riff on those ideas. I didn't expect Melissa to volunteer it, yet here we are. Okay.
Foothill, Boot Hill. This is where people die.
Okay, so the air is unbreathable. Got it. And it smells like feet. Okay. Writing this down. Okay. So that's the first one down. All right. Melissa, can you give me a D66 now?
45, which is the Silk Quarter.
Okay. Silk Quarters. Give me another D66 so we can figure out the theme code.
24.
And chat, if you have ideas when you hear the stuff that we're saying, toss it down. What was the next one?
24.
24 is mythology weaponized. Okay, so mythology has been weaponized in the Silk Quarters. and give me another D66 for a sub theme.
56.
Okay, so 56 is inspired heroism. Okay, so give me a D6 so we can figure out what the development is.
Uh, 11.
Just a 6. Just one D6. Sorry.
1.
Okay. A vigilante becomes active, aided by the mythos of a mythic hero. Okay. Anyone want to throw out a mythic hero that they've been aided by?
So Ashley is throwing out in chat the Weavers, something to do with threads of fate.
Okay.
Well, I like that.
Okay.
Ashley's all over this district. Naming,
I love it. I
ideas,
love it.
Fleshing it out. Thank you,
I was going to
Ashley.
say Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Or that.
I love the idea of like a weaver's Meister Weaver, or like I also think of like spider gods, like a Nancy, like
Oh
like
my gosh.
a Nancy themed vigilante. That would be really
Okay.
fun.
So Weavers, Anansi, Fate Weavers. I love it. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. This is how this works. Just throw out ideas and we kind of go with it. And eventually we're going to start having more than one development in a district. And then we get to figure out the timeline. What happened first? How did it affect it? And the other thing we're going to start doing is figuring out how like whether or not this also affects like neighboring districts. So like the Silk Quarters, for instance, it's going back really fast. So the Silk Quarter is in 44 and 46, but it's a relatively small district right in the center. And so it's like right up against like Sweet Release. It's right up against Little Russia and Big Russia. Like, has this affected at all? Is this Fate hero from one of the Russian places and runs around with a Russian accent? Are they there to pump you up or something? I don't know. So we're going to kind of figure that out. All right. Next up, Maitre. Let's do our next one. Give me a D66.
14.
14 is let me go back. 14 is the district. I can't tell. There's like multiple things on top of this one. I feel like there's this is the Rust Grid / the district. Those are the two names we have for this so far. All right. Okay. Give
Clearly,
me
it's the Rust Grid district.
The Rust
like
Grid
it.
district. Okay.
I
Done.
like it.
Figured it out. All right. So then, Maitre, go ahead and give me another D66 so we can see what thematic code we get.
Joke. 35.
Okay. 35 is oligarchic corruption.
Amazing. That's
Okay.
one of my favorite themes. So that's
Fitting.
great.
Yeah. I know you're a big oligarchy fan. It's true.
I am.
The name of Maitre's high school band was, damn it, I had it, but I lost it because oh, it's so good. It was right there.
Let's workshop it.
Oh, God dang.
I feel like it could have
What
been
was it?
really good. We should go back to it.
We're gonna come back. We're gonna go back. All right, give me another D66 for sub theme.
62.
Okay, 62 is total social disintegration.
Hmm.
Oh God. So total
Holy
social.
shit, tell me you are making my
I'm-
district without telling me you're
Ooh.
making my district.
Nice.
Maitre just destroying social order. All right, and then give me a D6 for the development that happened here.
Okay. That's a 6.
A criminal empire has effectively taken over the government.
Oh.
Okay.
So did basically like the government just sell out to all the different crime families? Like
Could be.
build up fake little suburban plots just for like tax write-offs or whatever?
Yes.
So we got the Rust Grid district, oligarchic corruption, total social disintegration, crime. Like it's not. There's no semblance of order anymore. It's pure. Yeah. It's like everything's criminal. Do we have like a name for the criminal empire or a criminal family that we want to call out? Anyone want to Carnegie's head in a jar? That's funny. What do we think?
We already have the Weavers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, do we want it to be high class criminals, or is this some place where like the oligarchy built up a bunch of affordable housing and then a bunch of ghouls come in and just ate it up?
I've got freaking Joe's Abraham Lincoln stuck in my head now, and all I can think of is Abraham Lincoln for some reason.
The Abrahams?
The Babrahams. Jesus.
Just a bunch of like posh punks. That's a fun term.
Powdered
Posh
wig.
punks.
I'm picturing like handsome Squidward, but with like the Abraham Lincoln. Like,
We do the posh punks who are led by Abraham.
Oh
Okay.
my god. The
This is
posh
good.
punks.
Okay, posh punks.
punks.
So the criminal enterprise is a bunch of posh punks, which really, honestly, they don't even understand what the word punk means. And then, so they're like fake punks because they're posh.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
And they're
Fake
led by some sort of,
Bunch of
I don't know, like a
posers.
socialite or something, like
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln. Let's do that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Like this, some like one of the some like a dude like his dad is a member of the oligarchy or whoever it is that's leading them. It's like they're just like posing as the stuff gang leader, but
Oh my
their
goodness.
parents just bought it.
Oh,
That's fantastic. All right. So the Rescra district there's complete and total social disintegration because a criminal empire organized by posh punks who are essentially the children of like corporate oligarchs or whatever, and they're led by a socialite by the name of Abraham Lincoln. Okay. We good? We ready to move on?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Chuck, give me 2d6s.
31.
A 31 is the Badlands. Underrated show on AMC. Okay. But also make a really fun ttrpg. Okay, give me another 2d6s, another d66, excuse me, for
14.
the thematic pill. We got another City in Ruins. I think that fits pretty well with Badlands, right? Cities in Ruins. Okay. Give me another d66 for its subclass.
18.
Okay, so 18 is Wildlife Perils.
Ooh,
Oh.
nice.
This is fun. And then one more d6 for its development.
4.
4. Mutated, rapidly growing vegetation has reclaimed the district, and we all know what kind of vegetation that has to be, right? It's our Monday group. Seriously, am I
Clearly.
the only one?
has to be fungus.
It has
Thank
to
you.
be fungus.
It's got to be fungus.
It's
gotta be fungus,
Great
right?
game, guys. I'll catch you all later.
It's
Hi,
okay.
Chuck.
It's the COVID break. Okay, so wildlife ferals. So So this is mutated,
Yeah.
rapidly growing fungus is overtaken. Okay.
That you're gonna
It's
say
like that Super
potatoes.
Mario's movie.
It really is. Okay. Like the original Mario movie. Oh my god. That came out when I was very young, and we took a what are those things called? Field trip to go see it.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Are you talking about the one with John Leguizamo? Because that was
John
like
Leguizamo, yep.
so good. I love that movie.
Does he-
Like,
I'm a little hurt.
unironically.
I'm a little hurt you say John Leguizamo when you should have said that one with Bob Hoskins. Like I really feel like that should have been
John
the lead.
Rabbit.
Leguizamo is a more global superstar, and I was in
Oh.
India at the time. I'm
All
sorry.
right, I love Leguizamo. It's okay.
That's just the way it is. I don't make the rules.
You just clearly break them. It's a bunch of bullshit coming from the bottom left corner of the screen right now.
Run with
All right.
fungus. What the Badlands? That's great. I would be terrified of going to the Badlands.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
so
and
we've
the
got.
Badlands is like big too, which
Mhm.
is problematic.
Is it really? What number was it again?
Yeah.
It was
31,
31 to
33.
33.
That is really big. Yeah.
Oh
So
my! Just a huge chunk of the city that's just like unusable.
okay. All right, Joe, give us a D66 and let us know what you get.
right.
Let's
looks like
see,
that's-
63.
Yeah, 63.
All right, Old Spire. It looks like.
Hey, the one I
Perfect.
named.
Hey, look at you. Quit taking ownership of stuff. This is a collaborative experience, Joe.
Okay. Okay.
All right,
But
go
also
ahead.
will be my favorite.
All right, give me another D66 for the thematic pillar in this area.
Okay. 51.
Okay, so 51 is Tech Noir. So the old Spire's got some Tech Noir going on. I like how everyone's done something different. I was wondering if we were going to get a lot of doubles up. We haven't yet. This is great. And then give me another D66 so I can get the subclass here for...
Another 63.
Look at you. Losing humanity. So something about the old Spire is losing its sense of humanity, right? Okay, so go ahead and give me a D6 for the development.
All right.
Oh my God, number one would be crazy. One is crazy. The desperate begin to sell or rent out their organs or brain functions.
Oh, man.
That goes so well with the previous one.
What if this is like some crazy virtual reality place? I think Old Spire and Tech Noir, like, what if this is a place where you just get lost in a fantasy?
Oh, totally.
And like
It's
you can
this,
sell
like,
yourself
AR,
off.
VR thing. Yeah.
Piece by piece, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 61 to 62, I'm trying to see what that borders on. So that borders on Foothill, which is the stinky place. And...
First thing you sell is your nose.
The Badlands.
And Badlands. And Slaughterville, which we haven't got yet.
South
Like,
part is just
dude,
not.
I'm willing to sell off.
Just like shitty.
Yeah.
I need something better than the foothills or the Badlands. Fine, I'll do whatever it takes to just have the sweet release of VR.
Yeah. I like how it's right next to Slaughterville too. So you're giving over pieces of your brain, and then once your brain's completely gone, they just ship your body to Slaughterville, and so now the rest of your meat is redistributed.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
We need the meat man to show up.
I guess I should roll too. I am technically a player, so let me go ahead and do that for the sixth one. See what we got. 51. So Big Russia. Hey, that's mine.
What?
It's mine.
No way.
Okay. Look at that. And so after that, let's see. Oh my God, that's a bad roll there. So I got 12 for my thematic pillar for Big Russia, which is scroll. Another city's in ruins. Okay. It makes sense. A lot of these ruins are on the outskirts, you know? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got to do another 2d6s for the specific subclass. So that's 26 backfired tech. What?
Ooh.
Tech going wrong in Russia? Big Russia? Backfired tech? What? Okay.
Yeah.
Nah.
Big ideas, not a lot of product testing.
Okay. And then I do have these. I actually have dice over here. And then I got a 6. So mineral eating enzymes consume all non-organic buildings and roads.
Oh my gosh.
Which goes with that like big
it's
idea
a
of
tech.
no testing. It's
Yeah.
like some new like battery or something that like, oh, it's gonna be great. Oh, it's eating everything.
Yeah.
And
So that
that's like
consumes
one of the
honor.
themes, right? The moral bankruptcy of technological innovation.
Mhm.
That's really cool.
Maybe
the
it was
other
meant
thing-
to be a weapon to use on people living next to the mushroom place to hold them hostage.
Oh, God.
Oh.
I like to think that maybe Big Russia and Little Russia are like warring places. Like maybe there was like a split. It used to be all one Russia and it's split. And so they came up with this like this enzyme eating thing. That it was going to be like a chemical weapon, and it completely backfired and ate all their
Yeah.
shit.
Amazing. Just like competing
It
slumlords.
worked before we got
Exactly.
to use it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. It technically
Amazing.
worked. A little too well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oops.
All right. So we're going to do another round. And now what's going to basically happen is we might get some doubles up. And if we ever get like the same district or another thing happens, what we basically do is we figure out a timeline. What happened first? Like the one we rolled the first time or the one we rolled the second time. And we should also think about like, how are these events, these various developments, like what is it like for the people who live there? You know, like what does that actually look like in some cases? Because people are going to live in these places, even in some of these cities in ruins, or it'll be slums or vagrants or outcasts or something like that. But there still might be these like little pockets of population. Okay, Jeremy, give us another one.
Obviously, Abraham Lincoln is going to unite Big and Little Russia.
Of course.
God.
Obviously.
Yeah.
All right. So I heard 12. Is that right?
Yeah.
All right. We're in the red green district. Okay. where everyone is red-green colorblind. It's just a bunch of brown
is that
everywhere.
what it is?
Okay.
I
Oh no.
thought there would be flannel shirts and duct tape.
Oh, you betcha.
You make me so
even
happy
better.
that you understood that.
Oh yeah, don't you know?
It's better.
Me so happy.
Jeremy, give me another D66 for the theme.
Where
Okay.
the Nephilim would live.
All right. So this time we have a 37.
37 is also oligarchic corruption.
Okay.
All right. So give me a D66 for the subclass or the sub thing of it.
46.
Okay. 46. We've got government overreach. That's redundant.
Okay.
Look at me. All right. Government overreach. And then give me a D6 for the specific development.
What a 4.
A 4. Police freely abuse their power with no repercussions. Man, that's too real. Okay.
So clearly it has to be Canadian themed. So they're incredibly polite but incredibly violent.
They were Mountie.
Big Reds. Watch out for Big Red.
Big
He'll
Red.
get you.
Watch out for Big Red.
Oh, hey there. You got a permit for that? No? Oh, that's a fine, you know.
Oh, God.
Don't have the
Writing this
funds. It's going to be a night in the clink. Yeah.
So
bunch
don't
of
wanna break your
Mountie
bad
style
leg.
Judge Dredd.
Oh,
Mountie
goodness.
Dread.
Writing this down. Okay. Awesome. Okay. So we have abusive Mounties, which again, redundant. Like we all know. We all know their reputation. Okay. Then Melissa, give us another D66. See where we're at.
That's 31, which we already did. So I'm gonna
Okay.
reroll that.
No. Don't reroll. Don't reroll. Because
Oh.
what happens
Oh.
is we start populating it with multiple events, and then we kind of timeline it up. So 31 is Badlands again. All right.
More history for the Badlands.
Exactly.
Oh my.
So give me another D66 for the theme.
43.
43 is sprawling cyberspace.
Ooh.
Well,
That's
That's
interesting. Because this is the
interesting.
Badlands is the fungal place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
fungal
wildlife
network.
going crazy.
They
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
that's-
what I was thinking.
Well, because a lot of fungus do the thing where you can have like a stretch of miles, but
Biocomputers.
it's all one thing. And
Mhm.
somebody maybe just uses that.
Biocomputers.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Give me
Yeah.
give me a D66 for, because I forgot there's a second the subclass. What's the D66 subclass here?
21.
21. Corporate domains.
Hmm.
Okay. Give me a D66.
No one owns the fungus. Oh, just kidding. The corporations do.
The fungus
62.
is the corporation. Just a
Oh.
6. Just the D6. The
Oh,
last one's just
6.
a D6. Okay. So the near space in this corporate district is swarming with data security. So near space is effectively like a layer of like cyberspace, like above the real, basically.
Mhm.
Is kind of what that is.
So somehow like maybe the corporation's even behind letting the fungus take over the area. So they basically have a super cheap supercomputer and then they lock it down with their security.
Mhm.
So do we
Nice.
think then that
Wars
the
Corp.
corporate domain control, do we think that, so that happened before and then they orchestrated the fungal thing, or did they just sweep in after the fungal spread?
Maybe a
I
happy
say they're
accident sort of thing. I don't know.
Opportunists.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
think it was before, and I think it was very much on purpose to like get like insurance payouts on the real
Yeah.
estate, and then the fungus just like
Ah.
went a little ham. It just like got a little out of control, and they were
Okay.
like, "Oh fuck!"
So some sort of corporate
Mhm.
corporate like real estate thing.
Yeah.
So they're basically
yeah.
they're trying to like dampen property values, and it just went too far.
Yeah, and then things just
Mhm.
went wrong.
Okay, I like it. That's a weird place. We got to hang out there. Like, we gotta go there. That's a weird place.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. Okay, perfect. All right, that was Melissa, I think, right? So let's go to Maitre. Give us a D66. Where are we going next?
D66 22.
22 is the smokestacks. Okay, so this is a new one.
Ooh.
All right. Give us another D66 for theme.
11.
Cities in ruins again. Do we want another cities in ruins, or do you want to reroll? We got a lot of
I'd
those.
love to reroll if you
Yeah,
don't mind.
reroll.
'cause we've
Let's
had
do it. Let's
Yeah.
reroll. Yeah.
Yeah.
15.
15 is different, actually. 15 is gangs, cults, and countercultures.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
This is our first one of those.
There we go.
Exactly.
So
Perfect. Good reroll.
smokestacks.
All right. It's kind of cool. It's just a big hookah bar. That's all it is.
Hell
smokestack's
yes.
just one
And
mega hookah
it's
bar.
like adjacent to Red Queen, which is all the fucked up social order. So it's great.
Oh, goodness. Give us a D66 for the subclass of gangs, cults, and counterculture. What do we get?
25.
25 is touched subcultures. So give us a D6 for. So touched basically means touched by like mythoi. Like that's the idea. Like they're source touched.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
5.
Okay, so that's going to be trickster spirits, psychedelic drugs, and trippy music are so hot right now.
Smokespire.
This is fucking
That's
perfect. Yeah, it's
Yo,
just
you
perfect.
weren't super off with hookah bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like the
Maybe it's
idea
opium dens.
of the large. Yeah, it's a massive opium den. So trickster spirits, psychedelic drugs. Okay,
Wonderful.
all right, we're gonna. I like it.
Oh, this is so great.
Somehow, how far away from the Badlands is the smokestacks?
Get close, I thought.
Right next door.
Yeah, right
So the
next to it.
smokestacks
I
is
wonder
just
where some of
west
those
the
psychedelics
Badlands.
are coming from.
Yes.
I also love
We'll
that,
have
like, it would be fun if, like, that was, like, I look at the edge of it. It's not necessarily a waterway, but could you imagine if the place that's full of psychedelics is also next to a waterfront?
It's got to be.
Oh,
We could
Amazing.
easily do
Oh.
that. Do we want that? We
I
could
know.
just to the west of it. There's a waterfront for sure. Yeah.
I would love.
that little
Yeah,
spot
that's
looks like a dog
great idea,
almost.
Jeremy.
So what? Like the west? We say like what kind of? What is it? Is it like a harbor? Is it a lake? What do we want?
It's a harbor.
yeah, anything
Yeah,
where you can have
harbor.
excuse for big shipments, like something where this
Yeah.
town potentially, like, actually.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it works because the other one that's just to the east of this one is the Rust Grid district, which is all like the posh gang stuff. So like they
Okay.
also want their access to the docks and the waterfront through.
Oh, that's a cool. That's
Just
a
this
great.
drug
Through the
corridor,
smokestacks?
basically. It's just total drug corridor. I
That's
like it.
so cool.
Awesome. Okay, Chuck D66. Which one are we going to now?
Oh, that's not the right one. All right, so we got our 22.
22. We're staying in the smokestacks. Okay,
Okay.
it's a
Ooh.
D66 for the theme.
36.
36 is oligarchic corruption. We got a lot of that. We want to do another one?
Yeah, let's do another one. 46.
46 is sprawling cyberspace.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So give me another D66 for its thematic subclass.
56.
56 is forgotten cyberspaces because everyone's too
So
freaking high all the
people-
time.
Get high and go to, like, weird subnets or whatever.
I like it.
Like, they get
I was
into the
almost
really
wondering-
weird, trippy stuff.
If it's next to the water, that maybe like under the water, there's sort of this like cave, like underground system that you have to like go out to the water to get back underneath. So that's why it's forgotten because it's like not at the top.
It's
kind of,
flooded.
like under.
Maybe it's like a flooded
Underneath.
type of thing.
Mm.
Maybe Tool was right and California is just terrible and we're in Arizona Bay. Boom.
Arizona
Mega
Bay.
city name, Arizona Bay.
There you go.
That's great.
Okay. Thank
Otherwise
you,
known as
Maynard
the AB. Mega City AB.
We're the AB. Where are you from? I'm from the AB. That's where I'm from.
AB, baby. Oh, God.
It's so stupid. We're so dumb. Okay. What did I
Young
say? That was
quote
for
with Abraham Lincoln.
The Abraham Lincoln is where everything just started to turn on. Like we started with smelly feet and then Abraham Lincoln and now we're off.
Yeah.
D6 still. We still get a D6 for this, for the specific development.
4.
4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. A key private domain cut off from cyberspace is accessible from here, which I think we were just sort of talking about, like this old flooded, the old flooded California or something like that is to the west. So a domain is basically like sort of like a private network, private cyberspace is sort of what it is. Okay, usually corporate. So maybe there's like an old California corporate thing sunken beneath the water that we're kind of getting access to.
Sneak in there.
Water cooled.
They call it old school Hollywood.
Old school Hollywood, Chuck. That's awesome. All right.
Nice.
That's fantastic.
That's where the magic happens.
It is. Okay. I feel like we did a lot of good work there with Smokestacks. That's pretty nice.
Cool.
That's pretty nice. All right, Joe, you're up next.
Okay. D66. 13.
We're back to red green.
Oh boy.
All right.
Perfect. Give me another D66 for these fascist Mounties, also known as Mounties.
Yeah.
21.
21 is gangs, cults, and countercultures.
All right.
Okay.
Maybe there's a reason there's that fascist overreach.
Or maybe we're rooting for the gangs to overthrow the Mounties. What is like the natural like enemy of Mounties in Canada? Like what is it?
Moose.
Moose? I was thinking
But
moose, yeah.
Anyway.
Body cams.
Body cam.
Damn, Joe. Oh goodness. So good, dude.
Oh, so good.
The body cams. It's just a bunch of like cam girls, and they call themselves the body cams, and they're all about bringing attention to them.
This is so great.
Give us another D66 for the subclass there that we roll on.
Okay. 56.
56 is outlandish tribes. So
Okay.
all right, and then give me another D6 for the specific.
3.
Okay, 3 is strange old techno shamans bring bygone devices back to life.
What?
That's
like
what it
that.
says.
Pagers. They're just using pagers.
Yeah.
That's the only way to get around the Mounties. They have it all locked down. So you got to do old tech to start.
Yeah.
And the shamans are probably helping funnel the drug corridor. Like they're the ones. It's right there. It all writes itself.
They do it from the back of their 8-track Max.
Strange. It's just 1978 in red green. That's all it is. It's Canada 1978, whatever that was like.
There's
That's
payphones that the
amazing.
Mounties don't even know what they are.
They just
God.
think they're they just think they're like the little like bathroom stalls just in the middle of the road, and it's like
Yeah.
payphones.
Oh God. Never mind. I was about to be like, so you're saying people just go into these places and just accidentally take shits in these phone booths, Melissa? As I just said. Okay.
Not
Real phone.
accidentally.
Would it be the first time?
It's just part of being in the cult. It's
Okay, so I'm writing down techno shamans carry pagers to bypass Mounties and contribute to the drug corridor. Okay. Something like that. I don't know. I wrote corridor drug, so apparently I was temporary dyslexic. So that was fun. Okay, just wrote the words backwards. Who's next? I'm next. Okay, so last one. Here we go. And I'll probably fill out some of the other things here and there. 55 got ourselves a Slaughterville. First time Slaughterville. Slaughterville was right next to that one place where we were cutting out people's brains, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
yeah.
Remember that.
Okay. So we've got Slaughterville. Got to do another D66 for the thematic corridor. Okay. Hit enter. I just rolled 2 10s in a row. I just rolled 4 5s in a row. 55, 55. Yeah. That is technological overdrive. I think that's the first time we've gotten this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
You're welcome, guys. And then another D66. Can I get another 55? I can't. I'm sad. 61. So 61 for technological overdrive. What did I say? 61? That is technological breakthrough.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's the basic class. And then the specific development is 3. A powerful AI is contained in a facility here.
Oh. I mean, we doing some
Nice.
Matrix stuff where it's just like using the leftovers of the bodies.
Oh god, that's so good.
Because it is Slaughterville.
It's
So,
ironically
yeah.
named. It's actually the nicest place to live.
I love it. Well,
Like,
my
Iceland is
mind
very-
did immediately go to like GLaDOS and like
Yeah.
GLaDOS,
very
yeah.
pleasant.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Super pleasant.
But it's all just like a sham. GLaDOS. I wrote down GLaDOS. That'll put everything in perspective for me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so going through this,
The
there's somebody haven't gotten.
HOA of Slaughterville.
Okay. So let's go back through the map really
gentrified
fast.
neighborhood.
Gentrified
One-
Slaughterville.
I think we have
All
one
right.
area that we haven't done yet.
We didn't do. We
I
never
think
got to
we've
anything
hit-
to little. Let's just go through this one at a time. So the first one we rolled was the foothills, which is far as basically to the southeast. That has rampant pollution. It's unbreathable and it smells like feet. That's essentially what we boiled it down to.
What? And what's funny is that's right next to where there was that weird parasite that was eating anything up that wasn't organic.
But yeah, that
So it
was
might
Big
be the
Russia.
runoff of that.
Okay. Okay. Runoff
Mm.
of Big Russia enzymes.
Byproducts.
Yeah, by like they got to eat the.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, perfect. The next one I think we had was Silk Quarters, where we had weaponized mythology. There was inspired heroism. This is where there was a vigilante that's aided by a mythical hero, and we're doing something maybe with the Fates or Anansi, something like that.
That's fine. That's right in the heart of the city too.
Right in the heart of the city, yeah. So it's right next to Sweet Release, which we haven't done anything with, and right next to Slaughterville, and next to Big Russia. I imagine Big Russia's a bad place. Just everything just went to shit. Okay. All right. So then we've got the Rustgrid District. The Rustgrid District is kind of northwestish, borders on the Smokestacks, which is that harbor district. And so that's where we've got the oligarchic corruption, and we've got Abraham Lincoln, who the posh punk enterprise basically is there.
Yep, yep, yep.
Okay.
The PPE.
The it's the PP gang. Okay. Then we got the Badlands, which is where we've got the rapidly mutated fungus, but we also there have the corporation that sort of either caused it or essentially facilitated its growth for the purpose of lowering property values. But it got out of control, but they still have like a private network there.
I want to call them Demeter because I have like Scavenger's Reign vibes.
Okay. So Corp is the corporation is named Demeter.
Mhm.
Cool. I like it. Done. Then we've got Old Spire, which is the tech noir place that was south of Slaughterville. And that's the one where people were desperately selling their basically their brains and their organs and stuff like that. And then we were thinking maybe whenever they're fully done, whenever they're fully harvested, like we send their meat to Slaughterville, which then powers that hidden AI there. Something like that.
Yeah, and basically, it's again like if we're kind of joking
Test
about the
subjects.
Matrix thing next door, these people are willingly putting themselves into fake reality.
They're basically volunteering to be batteries, sort of what they are.
Mhm.
I like it. Then we got Big Russia, Big Russia's off to the east. So it's like a fairly big district on the eastern side. That's where we have that backfired tech because of a war they were in with Little Russia. So some sort of gang or corp war, and they came up with some sort of enzyme eating thing that kind of rampantly went out of control and ate all of the non-organic buildings and roads. And the runoff from that has gone down to Foothill and caused a lot of the stinkiness of that place. Then we've got Red Green, which is where all the Mounties are. And the Mounties and the Tech Shamans are basically at war for the heart of Arizona Bay. Okay. Then we got the Smokestacks, which is right on the water. There's some gangs there that they're trickster spirit psychedelic folks. There's flooded California to the west, and there's like an old domain known as Old School Hollywood, where people kind of get all trippy and go off underwater to like old school Hollywood because LA is sunken. Okay. All right. I like it. And then I think that's it. I think that's all of them. So the only ones we don't have anything for look to be.
We've got 3. So we've got Burger Hill, Little Russia, and Sweet Release.
Okay. Do we want to do a quick roll for each of those?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Jeremy, give us one for Burger Hill.
Burger Hill. Let's start off with a 52.
Okay. So 52. Scrolling back up. So 52 is Tech Noir. All right. And then give me another D66 for its subclass.
43.
43 is self-destructive behavior.
I mean, it is Burger Hill.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Yep. And then give me a D6 for development.
6.
All too eager donors make this a favorite haunt for vampiric touched. So it's basically people who have been touched by essentially vampires.
Oh man. I mean, you basically come there, you have food that's literally addictive and just like, it's like fattening cattle basically. So people that are maybe vampirically touched intentionally provide this like super cheap, super addictive food so that they can fatten up their livestock.
Okay. I'm writing all this down. Okay.
And from chat that all of these places are also trying to vie for the crown of best burgers.
Could be.
Because if you bring in the most people to
it's
get
Bob's Burgers
fattened up
with vampires.
Okay.
I'm just going to write that down.
The way it was meant to be.
Going back to the true cannibalism storyline.
Your OG show idea.
All right. So that's Burger Hill. So then we've got, was it Sweet Release?
Sweet Release and Little Russia.
All right. So for Sweet Release, so the only thematics that we haven't drawn yet is transhumanism. Do we want to do that for?
That sounds appropriate for Sweet Release.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
So Sweet Release, we'll just jump straight to that and say transhumanism. So Melissa, give me a D66.
41.
All right. You're not supposed to roll it so fast. I count on you to take your time.
Apologize for my efficiency.
Okay. Minds transcended. This is all making
that
sense.
also fits.
And then give me a D6 for the development.
4.
So memory recording, playback, and modification is commonplace.
This all fits perfectly.
Okay. So it's like this. We record memories, playback, modification. Okay.
It's like a...
like you can maybe take somebody else's memories and put them into your own. So like you can sort of
Sweet Release because it's the movie, right? Eternal Sunshine. Like it's just all about like you've got this breakup.
You're so
you've got
much
this
nicer
tragedy,
than I
you've got
am
this
because
trauma.
I was thinking Total Recall.
I mean those things kind of go hand in hand.
Total Recall is going to be our other Monday game. Don't worry. It is. Okay. I was thinking, what's it called? The, God dang it. The Takashi Kovacs story. They did it on Netflix for like 2 years. Altered Carbon.
Shit. Yeah. Altered Carbon. Yeah.
Because they have like the stacks and they just sort of load stuff up into different meat stacks. Okay. All right. And we got one more. What was the last one?
Little Russia.
Little Russia. Should we
Little
do
Russia's
transhumanism again?
Well, I'm going to say Chuck. I think Chuck came up with Little Russia. So Chuck, you want to give us a D66 and we'll see what we get?
Amazing.
I think we've got everything. 51 is Tech Noir. Do you want that or do you want to do a different one?
Let's do a different one.
Go for it.
29.
29 is Mythology Weaponized. That's fun.
Ooh,
We've only done that
It's
once.
a good one.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another D66.
4.
Okay. So 4, that can't be right. D66.
That can't be right.
He's going to be double digit. Baba Yaga. Oh, yeah. I'm going to write that. I'm just going to write that down.
Okay.
So what do you got?
4 again.
Well, you got
that
40.
time it says 40,
40.
but I don't.
Okay.
That time it says 40.
Well, 40 would be corporate magic. Okay.
Does that
Wait, is
fit
40
with Baba Yaga?
40 is not possible.
Yeah, I was going to say 40 is not possible for a D66.
My D66 roller's broken, so we're gonna call it.
Oh, well, I mean, you're rolling 2
56.
D6s. Yeah. Okay. So 56
No, I did.
is inspired heroism again. We've already got that. That was our other one. That was where we got the silk quarters. Give me another one.
What's 2?
What?
Oh, it's a D66. 24. I remember how math works.
Mythology in action. Give me one more
Okay.
D6.
5.
A trickster god drastically reshapes or steals a part of the district, which would fit with Baba Yaga to a degree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay.
So how does this play into the war between like little Russia and big Russia and the tech that
Yeah.
went poorly?
It feels like Big Russia went tech and Little Russia went mythology, and both of them screwed themselves over in the process.
Mhm.
Almost call little Russia like old Russia. Like,
I mean, and it also begs you have to then have Big Trouble in Little Russia. It just writes itself.
I mean, okay. Big trouble in Little Russia. Okay, I think we got our districts. I might go through and add 1 or 2 more here or there, but I think we've got them. I think we're good. Feeling pretty good. Anyone come up with a better name than Arizona Bay yet? I'm really liking Arizona Bay, but
No.
I am open
Arizona
to
Bay is legit. It's so
Okay.
good.
Maybe.
All right. The AB.
And just to represent chat, Middle Russia is neglected, as is the way.
Middle Russia. Middle Russia is the district off to the east that no one ever talks about and no one goes to. It's just a black zone. Like we
It's
don't go
just
there.
Russia.
It's just Russia.
Regular rush.
Okay, so we've got our mega city down. We have a good idea of our absurd city and we're going to be in all different places. So we're going to go to different districts. We're going to try to play in a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but that should hopefully give you some ideas when you're making your characters and kind of coming up with stuff. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to kind of create a crew, like what's going to unify you all. There are some tropes. If you wanted to look at them in the PDF, you can. I can just sort of, for the stream, I can go over some basis of them. But if you want to look at page 148, players, you can see some samples. This is not exhaustive. We can make whatever the hell we want, but it's just sort of to give us some place to start if any of these kind of call out to you. So for the stream, there's all around fixers. So you basically are problem solvers for the elite, essentially. There's community protectors. So maybe you defend a particular neighborhood from gangs or corporations or mythical creatures. Maybe you're elite specialists. So you're a highly skilled crew that competes against or actually completes dangerous, like high stakes missions for clients and stuff. Maybe you're found family. So maybe like we basically, do Fast and the Furious essentially. So your crew is more than coworkers, your family. Have you ever noticed has there ever been a crossover in marketing between Olive Garden and Fast and the Furious?
I was just thinking that there really should be.
It's amazing. Get like Vin Diesel, like in the whole crew sitting at a table, eating
your family.
And they're just eating breadsticks over and over. Man. Rebellious street gang. You rejected the rigged system. You commit illegal acts. You climb the underworld ladder, that kind of stuff. You're a source cabal. So this is your crew basically pursues ancient mythic powers and secrets hidden in the mega city's dark corners, that kind of stuff. You chase legends and things. You're source hunting privateers. So you take on like kind of dangerous heists and missions to find legendary sources and then sell them. So sources, there's a couple different kinds they could be, but they could be relics like artifacts. They could be like familiars and stuff. And so you can actually get them and sell them to people. And you could be wanted. You're on the run from the law and powerful enemies like the Mounties of the smokestacks. And your crew's goal is to avoid capture while seeking answers, revenge, or redemption. So any of those kind of jump out to you?
I like the Source Hunters, the Privateers one.
Okay.
Source Cabal.
Yeah.
The
Source Cabal's
Privateer
fun.
one after that, the Hunter one.
We can
yeah.
put them together. It's not like we can't. Again, these are all just sort of like starting points to just kind of begin
But
with
they're
the
both
flavor.
cool. I like the Source
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to do something with Source. Okay.
Mhm.
Everybody
Source
on
is
board with that?
fun.
One of
Yeah.
the source
Alright with
ones?
that.
Sorry,
What are you gonna
source
say?
cabal or source hunting privateers?
We could do both. There's no reason we can't wrap the two of them together.
Wait.
What were you going to say, Jeremy?
Oh, I mean, because you can easily wrap it. You could still like kind of have elements of the other stuff in with that too. Like,
Yeah. I mean, you honestly can have elements of it. You guys can still be a found family that just does source cabal hunting stuff, or you could still be specialists of the elite that does this. So like you can kind of wrap it all up. It's just to give us a starting point for like why all of you work together, like why we've come together as a team. Okay. All right. I think you guys ready to actually make your characters now? Okay, this is where it's going to get hard.
This is so much fun. I almost forgot we have to make like actual
it is.
characters to play in the city.
I love this kind of stuff. Jeremy and I talk about Spectaculars all the time. It's like one of the best like
yeah,
world
I love
building
world
generation
building
tools
so
we
much.
have. And this is basically what this was. It was awesome. Okay. So for this game, I don't remember how much I said this at the beginning, but mechanically speaking, this game is very much a modified PBTA, so powered by the apocalypse. The basic mechanisms of the roll is you roll 2d6s, and then you add up your bonuses that you get from tags. This game is completely statless. There's no stats. You essentially make kind of an ad hoc modifier when you go to roll it by combining the tags that your character has access to that might be applicable on the roll. And each tag you add gives you a +1 on the roll, basically. And so your character is effectively defined by the tags that you are essentially going to create. Your tags are essentially provided by mostly themes. And so there's like there's 3 different types of themes, these big categories. There's the self, which is basically human stuff, like whatever you are the human touchstones. So that could be things like affiliation, which is like your connections to people, assets, which are physical or digital resources, expertise, which is like your training or your talent, horizon, which is like hopes and goals, personality, which is your behavior and your demeanor, troubled past, which is like something in your background that defines you, usually something bad. So that's all like self and the various like the specific like theme types that you can pick within it. Then there's mythos. So if you're more interested in doing like magic stuff, mythos, which is basically just magic. And so those are things like artifacts where like if you have a specific relic or something like that, a companion, that could be like a magical creature or a follower. You could have esoterica. So Chuck, you were mentioning specifically before we got on that you were interested in making your pyro again. So you might make sure at least one of the things you take is like esoterica because it's power from a knowledge or an art, or exposure, which is power granted from like encountering other magical shit. It's just really how you want to flavor where the origin of your pyromancy comes from. Then the third category is noise, which is tech. So for those of you that wants to make like, more tech folk, you might want to look at some of these. And so these are like augmentation, which is like cyber or biological enhancements, cutting edge, which is some sort of mind-blowing new tech that you have. It could be something you created yourself. It could be something you stole. It could be something, how you acquired it is going to kind of vary. There's cyberspace, which is like defining your ability to interact with or be represented in VR or in various other digital existences. And then there's drones, which is like remote devices, robots, etc. Now, so what you're basically going to do is you're going to get 4 theme types. I just listed all of the theme types. So each one of those self, mythos, and noise has a couple types underneath them. So affiliation, assets, expertise, horizon, personality, and troubled past. And by the end of character creation, you're going to have those 4 themes, and each of those themes that you take is going to give you a bunch of tags. And that's how you define your character. So there's ways that we could go about doing this. There's a couple of different ways you can make characters to get these to sort of fill out your character sheet with them. So it really just sort of depends on how customized you want to get. So we can use the rapid process, and that's going to be starting on page 178. There are a bunch of character tropes. And I think most of what are there, like 30 something of them, I think.
33 of them.
And each of those tropes is kind of characterized under one, like that kind of leans towards one of those big 3, like self, mythos, or tech, right? It doesn't mean that's all they are. It just means kind of leans that way. So some of the examples, for instance, like a corpo war sniper, a high-tech shinobi, a data raider. Joe was looking at a roboticist entrepreneur earlier. And like they're all kind of under sort of generic categories like hired guns, everyday heroes, mystics, and occultists. So Chuck, you might want to look at like page 183, for instance, to see if any of those might be a good place to start for building a pyromancer. Then there's like noir anti-heroes where you see things like a broken detective if you want to do like the Decker kind of concept from Blade Runner or whatever. There's power players, like if you wanted to be like a silver-tongued executive or something like that. Then if you wanted to, maybe you're more like a person who's from the outskirts. Maybe you're from the Badlands, or maybe you're from Big Russia or whatever. And like you might be a scavenger or an outlander. You might be an old tech reviver or a noise terrorist shaman. So I'm just naming a handful of the different tropes. So what the tropes provide you, if we go this route, which is the quick route, the easy route, what it basically provides you is it gives you your 3 kits, basically. So it gives you, so for instance, if I'm looking at like noise terrorist shaman, that means I know I'm going to take horizon, I know I'm going to take exposure, and I know I'm going to take a companion. Like those are the 3 things I'm going to take. And then we dive into those pages and we kind of figure out what your tags are. So it's telling you, it's like if you pick a trope, it's giving you the sort of the big 3 themes to start with, and then you kind of pick a 4th, because you always get 4, so you're going to end with 4 of them. 3 of them are provided by the trope, and then a 4th one is anything you want to pick. They tell you not to try to take the same thing twice. So if you've already got companion, don't take companion again. There's exceptions, of course, but like generally speaking. So that's the simple way, is to go through the tropes, pick a trope you like, and then we kind of figure it out. There's a couple steps to that to help you figure out your tags. There is a more custom way, which is effectively answering a bunch of questions and essentially developing your own kit. Like it's really just crafting your own kit, and you could totally do that. Or we can kind of blend the 2. Like there's no reason you can't take a trope, but be like, I don't really like that specific thing. I like it, but I don't want to take companion. I want to do something else. We can totally switch that out. So it's totally awesome. We can do it any way we want. Ultimately, every type you get of the 4 theme types that you take is going to give you 3 power tags. It's going to give you 1 weakness tag. It's going to give you what's called a ritual, identity, or itch. And it's going to be different depending on what you get. And then we're also going to, before the end of the night, we're going to develop crew relationships. You're going to have 1 relationship with each PC. And all of these are tags, and these are things that can essentially add up over time. So tags could be anything from like, they're my mentee, or mentor, or they could be like, like family, but not by blood, stuff like that. Like we can craft them on our own, or we can dig deeper into like the various theme kits that you select, and we can find like suggestions and questions that you can answer to make those relationships. So does anyone here want to go the easy, simple, straightforward route and do rapid? Melissa's nodding her head vigorously.
I second that.
Okay.
This is like per person? Like
this is per person. I have no problem. Like we can make it, if other people want to go more custom, we can do that. That's fine too. If everyone just wants to go rapid, we can do that as well. So, all right. Does anyone want to take the lead? Who wants to go first? I can do it randomly.
Just as
Melissa was calling dibs before stream.
Yeah, I've got kind of a custom one I want to do, so I think it might be better to go later.
Okay, so we'll do custom last, probably. Yeah. All All right, Melissa, are you ready? Do you want to go? That means you have to
not
make
ready.
decisions if you
Chuck?
do, though.
Chuck, are you ready?
I am. I'm doing custom.
Whoa.
And I've got it.
Wow.
So you're doing all custom?
Yeah.
Hell
Okay.
yes.
So basically, page 190 in the PDF is sort of the custom step-by-step. Step one is to essentially figure out your theme, right? Your concept. So for like Renegade Android, that's a pre-made trope. So a Renegade Android, the concept is that your consciousness suddenly appeared vague at first, but sharpening with every processor cycle. You realize you were controlled, defined by programming, et cetera, et cetera. So like there are questions that you could answer to help you figure out what that concept is, or if you just kind of know it, we could do that too. So what's your concept, Chuck? Do we want to do questions or do you have like an idea?
I have an idea. I mentioned it before. When Bert was running Shadowrun ish, I had my pyromancer, Ivan, the accents, which I am incapable of doing right now, the tracksuits, and the love for fire. So that's my theme.
Okay.
And I think the way that I've got that put together is the 4 groupings.
So there's the theme kits you pick from. Yeah.
So I went with exposure, elemental body.
Okay. So
to get me my
exposure.
fire.
Yeah. So exposure is under mythos. Okay. So you went mythos. Okay. Do you know what you were exposed to?
I'm going to guess that if I'm hailing from Little Russia or Baba Yaga runs supreme, she's got these 3 gnarly ass sons that are super magical. It's morning, day, and night. And I got a little too close to day, and he magic fired me up. But you know what? I made it through.
Okay. So before we go on to the next one, let's like go through how this would work since you're doing this custom. Mm-hmm. So then what we do is we go into the theme book for exposure, which is on page 232. And we have to look at your power tags. So we're going to try to get your tags. So the power tag questions, there's A through J. You have to answer A, which will give you your first tag. And then you can answer any of the other 2, which will give you the other 2 tags. The first tag is kind of like the sort of generic concept of what you are. So the question for you is, what powers did your exposure grant you? So something maybe with pyromancy. What do you think?
Yeah, pyromancy.
Okay, so just
I fire good.
All right, there we go. And so that's your first tag. So this choice of exposure has given you one of your power tags is pyromancy. Then there's other questions. There's B through J. You need to answer 2 of those, and those will give you 2 more power tags.
All right.
So I can start reading them out for the stream. If you find one that you like, just call it out.
Let me.
So one of them is like, in what ways has the exposure changed your body or allowed you to transform? So is your power, like, does it somehow let you manipulate or change your body in any way?
Yeah. So, no, it doesn't let me change my body.
Okay.
I guess maybe I did it wrong because I looked at the exposure, the elemental, and I picked 2 of the tags out of the list. And we can.
Okay.
So the first one would be like the pyromancy, the elemental stuff, and then I was thinking gleefully destructive.
Okay. Yeah, what you're doing is totally
right?
fine. That's just yeah. That's just you're basically taking you're kind of like doing a halfway point. It's not quite full creation. It's a little bit of both. So you're doing which one are you on? You're doing elemental body?
Elemental body, yeah.
Okay, so then your first tag then would be elemental body.
Yeah.
Okay. So then you get 2 more tags out of transform specific body parts, places rich in elements would be fire probably, absorb element, surge of element. So what are the 2 you would pick from that full list?
Gleefully destructive and unharmed by fire.
Okay. Cool. So you have elemental body, you're gleefully destructive, and you're unharmed by fire. Those are your power tags.
Yeah.
Then you have to pick a weakness tag, and you only have to pick one of these. So there's 4 choices from here: accidental destruction, opposite elements, no ambient element, or those who keep the balance.
So initially I was going to go opposite element, but I don't want my character to be stinky mechanically. So I don't want to be afraid of showers. So I'm going to go with accidentally destructive.
Okay, accidental destruction.
Yeah.
And then you get either some kind of ritual or itch. And at the bottom, it says the ritual that you get is that you must bathe in element daily. So what is that element?
Iron.
So you have to bathe yourself in like iron shavings or something. It's
Yeah,
just
like I got a bathtub of iron shavings I have to jump in.
Okay, awesome.
Very cool.
So you've got your first kit. Do we want to like cycle around these do one kit at a time maybe?
Cycle around. I've got all 4, but let's hop to someone else for a moment.
All right, who's got a kit that they want to call out? Maitre?
I have been kind of going through this and landing on just whatever the team needs.
Okay.
So I think it might be best if I do. My initial instinct is somewhere between far-seeing spy, God-honored warrior, and lab-grown soldier. Like those are the 3 that I'm kind of noodling.
We'll come back.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Jeremy, do you have one in mind?
I have 3 like different ideas that are all very strongly in one line or other. I know Melissa previously you indicated, like, I've heard a couple people say they want to do something pretty tech heavy, so I probably won't do the tech heavy idea I had.
I'm thinking very mystical, unless someone else is going very mystical. Because I'm like one of the ones that I'm leaning in. Maitre, I missed some of what you said. I was thinking maybe Egyptian lector priest.
Oh, that's cool. Because I really like the chromed up ogre as well.
Well, let's do it. Thank you for making your decision, Melissa. Nope, Melissa, you just made your decision.
I have somewhat of a mystic thing, but I'm not sure.
So listen,
then
you
I'm really
guys
hard into tech.
You guys pick Source, Cabal, something or other, so it would make sense for there to be multiple people on the team who are good at magic. So there's no reason. It's okay to have more than one. Doesn't mean you have to. You don't have to have it, right?
So this is one of the tropes, one of the 33 tropes that's sort of put out there. So the kind of description for this is when you lost them, everyone said you had to let go. Screw that. You dove headlong into the Egyptian Book of the Dead and regenerative stem cell technologies. Now you are a lord over the living dead, a necromancer, and yet even if you revived their body, their soul still eludes you. How far will you go to get them back?
Fucking cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so the 3 that you default get, and we'll do one of these like we did with Chuck, and then we'll come back around. And so do you want to do Esoterica, Corpse Animation first?
That sounds like fun. Yes.
Okay.
So I need to find where that
228. 228, and then scroll down. 228 is the theme book for it. And if you scroll down, Corpse Animation is the first one. So 229. All right. So the first tag you get is Corpse Animation. So put that on your sheet. Then you get to pick 2 of, and I'm just going to list them for the stream: Command Undead Servitors, Forensic Medicine, Boon with Unearthly Strength, Spread the Chill of the Grave, Siphon Life Force, Feign Death, Carried by the Horde, Sense Life Force, and Fascinated by Death. You need to pick 2. What do you think? And while you're thinking, Table of Horrors, thank you for the raid. We really appreciate it. We're starting up a new game. We're doing some character creation, Session 0 stuff. But appreciate you checking it out. What do you think?
I definitely want to do Sense Life Force because that just seems cool.
Okay.
To
awesome.
do.
Nice.
Write it down.
And I mean, I think for the other one, I might do Man, Command Undead Servitors just sounds so cool. I just don't know
Did
when
you do
it?
Did you do
it would
it?
come into play, but I'm going to do it.
It
No.
comes into play
Honestly,
because
that
you
was-
make it come into play. That's what it
I
is.
was
Yeah.
almost going to choose that as well. So
Okay.
I'm really glad you did.
Awesome. So, Command Undead Servitors, Sense Life Force, and Corpse Animation are your three things, and they play together. Corpse Animation means you animate a corpse, and then you can command them, right? So you can kind of tag it together, right? And then you need to pick a weakness. So the 4 options are Lengthy Ritual, Mangled Bodies, Cold and Distant, or Cloud of Rot. What do you think?
Just because Chuck said he didn't want to be smelly, I sort of want to go the Cloud of Rot direction.
I feel like Melissa's character comes from the stinky place that smells like feet. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the ritual that this provides is that you must perform rites to honor the spirits whose bodies you use. Okay. So it's 1 for Melissa. We're going to come back. Joe, did you have something? You said you were going to do like full custom or something. Did you have like a theme kit that we wanted to go through?
So, kind of the idea I'm going for is a guy who got cursed by a djinn and is trying to not be turned into one.
Okay.
And so I saw there was victim of otherworldly forces as one of the themes. So I was thinking that would be like a djinn or some type of genie like figure that he's the victim of.
Okay. What page is that one on?
Find it. It's
Oh no, I got it. Sorry. Yeah, I got it. That's so that seems to be under Troubled Past.
Troubled Past. Yeah.
Okay. So we want to walk through that one?
Sure.
All right. So your first tag is victim of otherworldly forces. So make sure you put that down. So that's a power tag. And then you get 2 more tags. So your choices are unfazed by the unnatural, recognize the supernatural, press on their vulnerabilities, covered in warding tattoos, exorcism, monster hunter allies, finger of a fey lord, my mind is my own, and knowledge of the occult. What do you think?
Probably there's a few in there that I'm like bouncing between. I like the warding tattoos idea. But I'm also thinking of going kind of like the investigator route too, with how my playstyle is. So knowledge of the occult would be fitting that.
Okay.
And that would also be helpful for like, yeah.
On 183, Joe, there's Hermetic Sigil Scribe. That might be kind of cool. Because that
a trope,
has wizarding signs and wizards, warning signs and wizard stuff.
And it already gives you a victim of otherworldly forces as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. I picked 2 of these.
So under the power tag stuff, you would basically you get the first one you got is victim of otherworldly forces. That's 1, and then you pick 2 of the other ones, the pink ones underneath.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do the warding tattoos and knowledge of the occult.
Awesome. Go ahead and put them down. Then you get a weakness. So it could be curse of bad luck. It could be scars that won't heal. It could be superstitious. It could be creatures like the one who took me.
Definitely creatures like the one who took me.
Okay. It's like djinn, basically. Or okay.
Yeah.
And then identity, you should put this down as well. These monsters need to be put down. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Jeremy, you want to do one? You want to start?
I have 3 main ideas I want to do. I kind of want to see like what the group would like to have best. Do we want to like all stay fairly mythos focused, or do you maybe want to have an outlier? Like, do we want a tech person or?
I'm going pretty tech heavy. Whatever.
You're going tech heavy?
Yeah.
I don't think we have anybody that's doing much on the way of. So at that point,
I'll be combat focused.
You'll be combat focused?
Yeah.
Okay. So then I won't do Robo Teddy. So at that point, would you guys rather have a brick or just like a scavenger dude with a bunch of weapons and stuff? I'm tempted to go brick because going with the flavor of what we have, I have like a couple of templates. I mean, we can do them individually, but the big thing I'm thinking is to use floral overgrowth, warrior instinct, impressive physique, and tough, and basically use somebody that's from the exposure to the fungus stuff, has kind of like the shared memory. That's what the warrior instincts are, and then is basically a
Ooh.
Solomon Grundy type guy, except like a mushroom themed Solomon Grundy.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome,
Sounds
dude.
cool.
Yeah, let's do
Basically
that.
Goomba.
Yeah, basically. Do we want to go through one of your kits so we could just like walk through your tags?
Sure.
Which kit
So,
do
like,
you want to
How
do?
many kits are there total?
You get to basically pick 4 of those theme kits, and then each of those provides 3 power tags, 1 weakness tag, and a ritual.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
what page are you on there, Jeremy?
So right now I'm on page bless it. I'm trying to
Floral
get zoom
overgrowth.
in
You
and
said
being a jerk. 235 has 2 of the 4 I would look at.
all right. So let's go to 235. Yeah.
So right at the top left, you've got floral overgrowth.
Okay, so this is under this is a mythos. So this is a mythos kit of exposure. So you're doing floral
mythos of
overgrowth.
exposure.
Okay,
He's from the Badlands, or at some point, like it may be even he died there and he kind of came back, but not exactly still him.
Okay.
So floral overgrowth. There's a lot in there that's fun. I would definitely think bark armored skin, sprout vines is fun, and then. Some of these I'm not really sure how I would tag them, but intense vitality just sounds like a fun thing to have.
Nice.
So which of those 2 do you want to take then?
Oh, you do 2, not 3. Okay,
do
my
2.
bad.
Floral overgrowth is the first, so you always get the big tag. So
Oh, now I get it. Now I get it. Okay, so I would go floral overgrowth, bark armored skin, and sprout vines.
Okay, done. Weaknesses then. The choices here are sedentary existence, uprooted, burn easily. So you're great friends with Chuck, and slashing weapons.
I mean, if I'm going Solomon Grundy, sedentary existence.
Okay.
You really have to like nudge him along. He's a plant man or plant themed zombie guy. Like you really have to like
I love it.
Push him in a direction.
I think it's awesome. And you too, you have to regularly commune with the vegetative life around you. So, okay. You said there's a second one on this page. We could just do your second one right here. What do you got?
I think it would be fun since we kind of talk about that, like there's that weird like connection that the mushrooms do. Flavor Warrior's instincts kind of being like this weird combined knowledge that he has whenever he comes back. So Warrior's instincts would be 1. Peak physical condition because he's a big brick. And then I'm torn between alert to danger just because somehow being connected with all the plant life around kind of gives him like a weird additional sense.
Okay.
Battlefield heroics could be funny, but I don't feel like this sloth, very pondering sort of guy is going to be super heroic. So I think I would go with alert to danger.
Okay.
To mix things up.
So you said, and the other one was what? Peak physical condition, you said?
Peak physical condition. He's a big, beefy, Grundy guy.
And what's your weakness from this? You got haunted by past warriors. You got showing irreverence, need archaic regalia, or traitors and backstabbers.
I think if we're doing it, it's the idea that the reason he has is there's like a million shared memories that are pouring into him. I think you've got the good, but you also have the voices of some of the others that get in there too sometimes.
I love it.
So haunted by past warriors. So he's got the good and the bad whispering at him.
And your ritual is that you must temper your violent instincts with ritualized combat.
Yep, I've got to get it out. If I can't bottle it up, I've got to get it out.
Nice.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so we'll still have 2 more to do with Jeremy shortly. One of the things I should also mention, by the way, you don't have to take all from the same thing. You can have one mythos, one self, 2 noise, 2. You can mix it up. There's no reason that you have to stick in one. All right, my Trey. Everyone's gone once, which means you have to go now too. It's required by law. The Mounties are coming for you.
I can't decide between Combe de Poker and Lab-grown Super Soldier.
Super Soldier, awesome. Those are both good. Those are both
I know, right? They're both
and basically,
so good.
you can just look at like the kits that they recommend and just sort of like pick between the kits because basically that gives you like 6 options and just pick 3 from across the suggestions.
I think I'm gonna go with Chromed Up Ogre.
Okay. So chromed up.
Which
That's
is
that's a noise, I
179.
think. Thank you very much. I think that's noise, right? Yeah, it's
Could
one of
be.
noises.
Yeah.
Okay, so 179, chromed up ogre. All right, so the 3 kits that, again, remember, you're going to end with 4. 3 of them, if you go this route, if you're going to get the 3 that they provided, and then you get to pick another. It gives you like a multiple choice option of the 3 you could take, but you're not necessarily obligated to take it. So do we want to do augmentation, assets, or personality? What do you want to do, Maitri?
Let's do assets. 'Cause
Okay,
I don't
so-
think we've done that yet.
So assets, that's
Guns
around
and
page
more
200
guns.
or so, I think. And so you're doing specifically guns and more guns.
Guns and more guns.
So your first tag is guns and more guns. So go ahead and write that down
Okay.
on your sheet. And then you get 2 more power tags from this list. Zephyr assault rifle, sawed-off shotgun.
What page are you on again?
I'm on page 202 right now.
Thank you.
So this is
Thank
this is a self theme kit for guns and more guns is what this is.
Yeah.
So you get the first power tag is provided, guns and more guns. Then you choose from Zephyr assault rifle, sawed off shotgun, extended magazines, firearm marksmanship, source harming ammo, which probably would not be bad considering what you guys are doing, gun cleaning kit, hidden firearm, prolonged shootouts, and 2 guns at once. Guns akimbo. So
I get 2.
you get 2 of that list I just read, yeah.
Source harming ammo and 2 guns at once.
Awesome. Okay. Considering you guys were very interested in doing like the source cabal and the source hunting stuff, I think that the source harming ammo makes perfect sense. Weakness tags, you get one of those, the one of those 4 that are in green. Obviously armed, weapon jam, innocent bystanders, excuse me, or silent kills or harder.
Sound kills are harder.
You go loud.
Okay,
Yeah.
just go loud. I only go one way. Loud.
I love it.
And your identity is good offense begins with self-defense. Awesome. Okay. So we're gonna
God.
So I think we've done 2 kits with Jeremy. We've done 1 with everybody else. I figure let's do 1 more with everybody, and then we'll let you guys finish up the other 2 like on your own. So that means everyone. So we kind of understand at least half of our characters. So I'm going to go back to Chuck since we started with Chuck. Chuck, what's your second kit that you want to go over?
Why don't we go over? I picked a personality kit for the next one.
Nice. Nice.
Rebel without a cause.
All right. You got a page number for me?
No.
All right, I'll find it.
Math.
Rebel without a cause. I'll find it.
Yeah,
I'll just search.
page
215. Yeah.
All right, 215. Thank you very much. All right, so Rebel Without a Cause. So Rebel Without a Cause is the first tag. And then you get to choose 2 from Couldn't Care Less, Stir Up Trouble, See Through the Bullshit, Stand Up for Myself, Dangerous Vehicle, Say What Others Can't, Has a Soft Side, Leather Jacket, and Never Back Down.
They're all tough choices, but
They're really
I'm going to
good.
go with Stir Up Trouble and
Okay.
Has a Soft Side.
Oh, look at you. That's
Like
nice.
Kittens and shit.
Hairless kittens, just in case.
Yeah.
You wanna,
It's better that way.
whether they want it to or not, it's just better
Yeah.
that way.
They all
okay, so
end up there.
they do. Okay, so weaknesses tags, you have to pick one of these: authority figures, big mouth, fancy social engagements, or loss of freedom.
I went with authority figures.
Okay. So what do you think that means in this case?
I just get unreasonably agitated by people telling other people what to do, especially if they think they got a source of power.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then your identity is you'll never be another cog in the machine.
Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. That was easy. See how simple that was? Okay, who's got a second one? Melissa, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Sorry, I had to find the unmute button. Yes.
Where are you at?
So I am sorry, I was working on my third. So if you go to page 243,
Thank you so much.
it is the noise kit of self-healing.
Okay. So you're a necromancer with self-healing tech as well. I like it. All right.
So I have so self-healing is the kind of the primary power tag. From that, wounds close instantly.
Wow.
And just to not be totally selfish, I also got accelerated regen gel because I figure that can probably help other people.
That's very nice of you. Okay.
However, I just screwed the party because the weakness that I have is sought after blood. So
Yay!
I've got a target on my back.
Blood. Okay, so people
so
want
like my
to
blood
get your
is
blood.
sought after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then the itch is ignore the danger. I can survive it.
I like it. Very nice. Okay, so these are going really fast now. I think once we do it once or twice, I think it's making more sense. Joe, do you have a second one?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
I've got a few. I think I have the other ones picked. Let's do the artifact Risk Taker's Luck Charm.
Get a page number for me?
Fun. Yes, that is 222.
222. Thank you. All right. So first tag is Risk Taker's Luck Charm. Then you get to choose two of Games of Luck, Protection from Accidents, Devil May Care Attitude, Lucky Shot, Last Minute Escape, Steadiness and Grace, Share the Luck, Turn Rags to Riches, or Fearless.
I think I definitely want to do Share the Luck, and let's do Lucky Shot.
Okay, Share the Luck and Lucky Shot. I love it. And then Weakness, what you thinking? Fortunate Foe, Hexes and Curses, People to Whom I'm Indebted, or Capricious?
Fortunate Foe. What would that be? I'm trying to wrap my head around.
Probably whoever you're fighting is also very lucky.
Okay.
Something like
that. Let's do Capricious.
Okay, perfect. And then the ritual is you must take a chance when it presents itself. Okay.
I think that fits with the Capricious too.
I think so too. Yeah. All right. Maitre, do you have your second?
I do. It's on 238.
All right. Okay, so we're in noise. So this is tech. Which one are you doing?
Yeah, Armor Juggernaut.
Okay. So your first tag is Armor Juggernaut. Then you get to pick two more from Brute Force, Pierce Proof Plating, Gigantic Weapon, Mighty Leap, Bust Through Walls, Newfound Confidence, Welding Gear, Corporate Military, and Imposing Physique.
Brute Force and Imposing Physique.
Love it. Melissa, are you taking this one so you can get Mighty Leap?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
I am emo girl, basically.
That's what it sounds like. Very much so. Okay, Maitre. Weakness: bulky servo motor jerks, rusts when wet, or treated like a brainless brute.
What is servo motor jerks?
I think it's the idea that, like, I was thinking servo motor, like it not jerks as in people, but it just moves like unexpectedly.
Oh, it jerks. Okay,
that's what I was thinking.
Like the verb jerks. Okay.
Yeah.
Treated like a brainless. I think it'd be fun to be treated like a brainless brute.
All right. Okay. Awesome. And then your itch.
It's kind of a brainless brute.
Hey. But you're an armored juggernaut, so you get to smash through it. That's your itch. Okay. I think we got time. Let's do our third. So let's start with Jeremy, because Jeremy we have two of. We got a third for Jeremy.
Okay.
Where are we at?
Yeah. I'm flip-flopping on a couple out of it, but I'm looking at Impressive Physique from what page is that? 206.
Okay.
Because again, going with the Grundy theme. So Impressive Physique, Brute Strength, Avoid an Injury, And then while it was tempting because he's already kind of sedentary to do the unsteady footing, I think it would be more fun since there's also some psychic stuff going on to do easily bruised ego. Because he's kind of got that messed up sense of self. Like he doesn't remember who he was. He only has like this collective of memories. So it's easy for him to feel very unsure about himself as an individual.
I like it. So that's your weakness, easily bruised ego. And then what did you say your other tags were? The other power tags?
Impressive physique with brute strength and avoid an injury.
Okay, impressive. Okay, perfect. And then identity, my body is my temple. That's what it says. All right, great.
Yeah, with the warrior's instinct of collective stuff, you gotta.
I love it. That's 3 for Jeremy. Chuck, you got your third?
Yeah. Do you want another esoteric or do you want a cyberspace?
So it's up to you. Whatever you want to do next.
Why don't we'll do another. I've got 2 of the magical tags and one of the other, each of the others. So we'll do tech gremlin.
Tech gremlin? Yeah. I like it. I like the sound of it.
Had that opened. And
I
then
got
I scrolled.
It's on page 227.
Yeah.
All right. So tech gremlin is one tag. Then you choose 2 from cause malfunctions, analyze machinery, invisible to tech, weapon misfire, knows how to fix 2, hide inside vehicles, electrical overload, clever pranks, or spawn siblings.
I don't need it to make babies. So yeah, with tech gremlin, I'm going to go with cause malfunctions.
Okay.
And clever pranks because it feels gremlin-y.
Okay.
And its weakness, easily distracted.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. Gremlins are great. And then your ritual is that you have to let it, you must let it tamper with the machine at least once a day.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's 3 for Jeremy, 3 for Chuck. Let's see. Melissa, you ready for number 3?
Yes.
Where are we at?
So I have one that I've worked out, but it's less interesting, but it's for flavor.
I think we might have time, so let's just do it. Where are we at?
Okay. So, let me go back to page 218 then. So one of my theme kits is tragic loss.
Oh, okay.
So number 1 power tag is tragic loss. Second is nothing hurts more than this.
Damn, you are emo. Jeez. Okay.
Oh my Lord.
This whole kit is.
You're like the crow. What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Like the good crow, not the other one.
And the second power tag is bringer of retribution. So
you are the crow. You really are the crow.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really am.
That's great.
Weakness tag is, and I might change this one, but it's interesting. Haunted by their ghost, literally.
Could be a digital ghost, could be a real spiritual ghost. That's the fun thing about this universe. It could be either of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm guessing it's not like a constant thing, but every once in a while she just gets that. And then the identity is I'll never feel the way I did with them.
Oh, okay. Man, that is some dark stuff. Okay, I'm gonna playing some Jane Siberry in the background. It's just like
necromancer, tragic loss.
Commission some songs. Okay, I love it. Fantastic. Joe, do you have your third?
Yeah, I was going to go with the investigator expertise.
Okay, where am I at? What page?
That is 206.
206. Thank you. All right. So investigator is your first tag. Do you have your other ones figured out already? All right. What do you got?
Read body language and analytical brain augmentation for
I love it.
The bonuses. And
You're
then
basically
weakness.
like an augmented Sherlock.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I like the weakness of falling for sob stories a lot.
That's great. Okay.
It's really funny. And then, the identity. Everyone's a rat if you know where to squeeze.
Awesome. Maitre, do you have number 3? We're going so fast now. This is great. We're going to get through it all.
Tough as nails, personality on 215.
Thank you so much. Okay. So tough as nails, first tag. Do you have your other 2 tags figured out?
I do. Rugged charm, because I like the idea of her being kind of phasey. And I don't actually have the other one picked.
Okay, so while you're thinking, I'll read the rest of them for everybody. So been through it all, intimidating, expecting the worst, ultimate survivor, padded clothing, rugged charm, which you've already taken, worked unusual jobs, electro knuckle buster, embrace for the pain.
Worked on usual jobs feels interesting, given
that could be
the
fun.
city we've just created.
There are a lot of potentially extremely unusual jobs across the districts, no doubt. Okay, awesome.
I
So tough
think
as nails, rugged charm, worked unusual jobs are your power tags. Weakness? Do you know?
Definitely underestimate threats.
Okay, you underestimate threats. Awesome. And then your identity is that you've been through so much, nothing can defeat me now. You're going to live forever. Not even God themselves can strike you down. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, so everyone's at 3. I think we've got time to do a fast go around for 4. Chuck, I know you're done. So what's your 4th?
Yeah. Page 247, zeroed identity.
Awesome. So this is another noise one. So this is tech. So zeroed identity. And then do you have your other 2 tags?
Yes. Zeroed identity, and the tags I went with was identity blurring gadget.
Cool.
And evade surveillance.
Awesome. I like it.
My
Those
weakness,
are both great.
Yeah, my weakness, no identity documents.
This sounds familiar. Wasn't that? Did you have something like that?
It really does.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. Just a shadow it. And then your
Awesome.
itch. Never reveal your true name.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So Chuck, you're done. So how many of each of the 3? So there's noise, self, and mythos. Like what's your spread?
It's mythos, self, noise.
Okay. So you skew slightly. So basically one of the things in the game is that the balance that you have between those 3 kind of determines some aspects of what's called essence. We'll cover that later. It's not important right now, but it's dependent, like which way you're skewing might actually impact it, some of it. So cool. So one of you is, so far one person is skewing mythos. Melissa, do you have your 4th?
I do.
All right. Where am
So
I?
forbidden cult. So page 198.
198. Forbidden cult. That sounds awesome. So this is another self kit. Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
access to occult tomes.
Okay.
And because I don't want to just be a knowledge person that can't do anything in a fight, I went with ancient fighting techniques.
Very nice.
Bringer of retribution, training montage, ancient fighting techniques.
Kick dirt in their faces or something. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just turn on the Crow soundtrack and
try to go.
There you go.
Or just squirt them with water. Wasn't that the ancient fighting technique in Signs?
Signs?
Yeah. Ancient fighting rituals. Oh, she just squirted them with water. What's your weakness?
Overzealous. That seems like it
That's
fits.
fun.
And then identity is trust in the creed.
Okay.
So for essence, for me, I landed with 2 self, 1 noise, and 1 mythos.
Okay. So we've got 1 mythos, 1 self. Fantastic. Joe, you ready for your 4th? I can come back. I think Jeremy might be ready.
Yeah, come back to me.
Okay.
I'm narrowing it down.
No worries. Jeremy, what you got for your 4th?
So I'm going to tap into the backstory of Badlands and mix in just a little bit of Swamp Thing with the Solomon Grundy. And I'm going to go science experiment.
So
right?
Good.
He's somehow tied to whatever caused that place to get changed in that fashion.
That's so good.
And also tied in with the whole like shared memories of the warrior spirits. I'm going to tag Psychic Blast so he can unleash some of that collected psychic energy along with Let Out the Rage. So he's just got all these thousands of voices that collect and then he can just unleash them.
So good. Okay.
And then because he's related to whatever weird corpse shenanigans caused that place to turn into what it is, and he's somehow a conduit for these shared memories, he's chased by the corp. They want to make use of that.
Yeah. I love your identity one. Your identity. I'm a freak. I'm a monster. That's great.
Yeah.
I like it. Okay.
Nice.
So what's your distribution? What do you got in terms of
2
self
and 2
mythos?
2 self, 2 mythos.
Okay, so no tech at all. You're tech free.
No tech at all.
Okay.
He's purely.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. My Trey, do you have your 4th ready to go?
Oh, was being read. Yeah, I do. It's exoskeleton on page 243.
Thank you. All right, so another noise. Okay,
Yep.
so exoskeleton suits. That's your first tag. You got your other 2 tags figured out from here?
Yeah, I'm doing protective armor, and I love corporate investors because I think that has the potential to cause a lot of complications.
Okay, so like so basically someone isn't. Yeah, okay, I got it. Like
Yeah,
corporate
yeah.
investors in the suit. Yeah,
Yeah.
got it. And then weakness.
How could too big,
Too big even for me. You're just like it's too big. Okay. All right. And your itch, fight big enemies, do big things. It's so good. All right. In terms of your distribution, how many self, noise, and mythos do you have?
I need to actually go and look, but I think I'm leaning to. I think I'm more heavy in noise.
Yeah. Okay. I think you had 2 noise, if I remember correctly. I don't have your tag. That's not your shit up, but I think you had 2 noise.
Guns and more guns, which is assets. Armor juggernaut, which is
That's noise.
augmentation.
Yeah. So there's 2 noise at least. So at the very least, you're skewing noise. I don't know what I can't remember the fourth one.
Tough as nails is personality. Exosuit is noise.
Okay.
So I think there's 1 self and 3 noise.
Okay. So you're heavy tech. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Last but not least, you got your 4th?
Yeah. I think my 4th, because I was looking and most of mine were kind of like utility-ish. So I wanted one for potential combat. I liked the weapon witching in Esoterica.
What page we on?
So
so sorry. Can I actually switch my too big even for me to hackable?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, just switch that. No problem.
And this is 231.
231.
Sorry to interrupt, Joe.
So
you're fine.
Weapon itching, Esoterica is another mythos. Okay, so do you have the 2 tags that you want to take under weapon witching?
Yeah, I was thinking legend killing enchantment and weaponsmithing.
Okay, that's fun. Cool. Legend killing enchantment. Wow.
And I think that sounds fun with like, he's like an investigator type and he's trying to deal with a very particular type of people.
Trying to craft different types of weapons to just get yourself rid of this. Yeah.
Well, like the Vason style thing, like you learn what their story is and you know what the foil to it is.
Yeah.
If you've ever, there's a show that used to be on Paramount that it just finished up called Evil. One of the characters was haunted by a djinn in like the last season or 2. It was really fun. It's really cool. Okay, what are your weaknesses then?
Wears down the weapon.
Okay. So it probably needs repairing or replacing frequently.
Yeah. I picture it like I keep overcharging it or something and it just decays or degrades. It doesn't hold on to materials very well.
All right.
Takes a lot of juice to kill legend.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay, then the ritual, I must never allow an enchanted weapon to go unused. Fantastic.
Yep.
All right, I think we've got 4 kits. So what's your distribution? How many like noise, how many mythos, how many self?
I think I'm 2 self, 2 mythos.
Okay. So
because troubled past and expertise are, I think those are both self.
So I think both you and Jeremy are no tech. My tray is all the F in tech, right? And then Chuck, did you have, what was your distribution again?
I was 2 magic.
Okay, heavier mythos, and then Melissa, I think, was also heavier mythos. Okay, cool.
Yeah, heavier self. Yeah, I am all about me and my troubled past.
It's very sad. I feel like you wrote poetry. I'll be very upset if you don't.
So the last thing that we need to do for character sheets, but we're not going to do it right now because we're at time. We can do this over the next couple of weeks as we get ready for session 1, is to figure out character relationships. And so you basically get 1 relationship towards each person. So like you're going to have like 4 tags basically for this, and it sort of defines generally the relationship. if you don't know off the top of your head, we're not going to do it right now on stream, but if you wanted to get some extra examples, go into the theme book sections. There's some like crew relationship suggestions under like esoterica or under assets. And you can see one of the things they have is like crew relationships. And it's just suggestions. You don't have to follow it. It's just sort of an idea if you're like struggling to figure out what it is. Or what you might be able to do, and you might be able to kind of tag a certain person with one of those. I think that should be a decent way to go about doing it. And then loadout is like the next sort of quasi fifth theme, but that's more of a by job situation. So that's that. Oh, of course we just lost stream. Oh goodness, all the way to the end. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah. You're breaking out.
I'm
Your
good.
video's locked though.
Melissa's frozen. Okay, I just sort of lost frames. I'm not sure if I'm still up.
You.
Okay.
Oh, you're better now.
You're back.
I'm back. Let's make sure the stream's still up.
Ooh.
All right, we back. All right, I think we're back. Okay, right at the very end. So the last thing I was saying before I got cut off. So the last thing we have to do is your character relationships. You're each going to get one relationship tag with every other person in the party. So there's 4 total for each of you. Take your theme books for the different themes that you took, like esoterica or assets or something like that. There are suggestions in there for questions that you could potentially use to generate those tags. So it's a good place to find some inspiration. But we'll do that between the next couple of weeks as we're prepping. And then loadout will also take care of when we start a job, because loadout is more job specific, and those are like more tools and items, and they can change, and like sometimes you have them, sometimes you don't. It depends on power usage, and we'll get into the mechanics a little bit more. But I think we're good. I think we got our source hunting crew. We got Arizona Bay, and I think we're good. 8B, heading down to the 8B.
God,
it's so fun. All right.
I want to go back and listen to everything that I missed while I was like trying to make my own choices, and already made such cool characters.
Well, the fun thing is that there is a video and audio record of this, and so you're capable of doing that exact thing.
So lovely. So lovely.
All right. Why don't we go ahead? Let's do some close and plugs. We'll get on out of here. My Trey, I think you're up. You're right. You're the first I see. So My Trey, where can we find you on the internet?
I am multi-place games, so on YouTube, where I sometimes do things, and when I do those things, they are system agnostic or multi-system develop content about centralized human play experience.
Fantastic. Awesome. Links are in the notes and descriptions of the shows and stuff, whether you're watching this later or listen to this later. Chuck and Joe, what's going on with DOK?
Wednesday, maybe DCC. We'll see if I'm still COVID brain foggy. Friday, possibly Pathfinder 2nd edition. Saturday, actually, I think we'll be over on Birch Channel Saturday night for some Pirate Borg.
You're playing
first time.
We are.
It's so much fun.
pretty fun.
It's fun.
It is.
You
We're
guys
playing it
said
next
nothing
week.
but good things about it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'll give it a go.
It was fun.
Yeah. We're going to play it on Thursdays, or on a Thursday next week. So
Nice.
it's
Okay.
fun. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
that time
And
of
other
year.
than that, go buy my book, Teenage Odyssey.
Yeah. Hang on. I got it.
Jeremy's
I got
got it.
Boom. Right there.
Here we go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. As for us, what do we got next? Next game is tomorrow night. You can see a couple of us playing through Star Trek Adventures. Steven sits in the seat for that. And we are messing around with time, an ancient or an old starship that's not where it's supposed to be, and Romulans. So, I mean, it sounds like a really fun time. Thursday, the party just walked right into a really bad situation. So we're going to see how that's going to play out. It's going to be very exciting. Opening 30 minutes, I hope. And then Friday this week, we got Delta Green as half the party is high and went to another plane of existence. The other half of the party is high and is in the deserts of Arizona. So a lot of high stuff going on. And then Saturday, I'm not sure yet because we're not ready to go back to Call of Cthulhu. So something, but we'll be back to Call of Cthulhu later this month. But that's it for now. Next Monday, too, you can catch us playing Alien, which might be the finale or might be the penultimate episode, one of the two. But that's about it. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Come back in 2 weeks when we actually play this for real. We're going to go ahead and raid Happy Jack's RPG. So follow that raid. Have a great rest of your night. We'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.